bit. He didn't take it to trial, but they reduced it to manslaughter and felony possession of a firearm because he was already a felon. He was not supposed to have any type of gun or be around one. So the plea that he took was 18 years, day for day, with no good time, in order for him not to go to trial or get life or 25 years or 25 to life. So he took it. Now he's 12 years into his sentence and he has 6 years left.
XCon Media.
Welcome to the channel. Today we got something that a lot of people are interested in. A lot of times you got situations where significant others are waiting for their spouse while they're incarcerated. I went through that same situation. Appreciate you tapping in. I met you
Thank
on
you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I met you on TikTok. Found you was scrolling the FYP, which is something I rarely do. And ran into your situation. You was talking about your situation. First I must say that I served 16 years in prison. Okay. I was in from January of 1998 to January 2014. I changed relationships going through, so I didn't have the same person riding with me all the way through. But I had somebody, maybe the first 6 years, she fell off, and then somebody else, it might have been a couple between, and then somebody else came in and finished it off the rest of my sentence. So I understand your situation. So I've been out since January 2014. I got a full pardon from the state of Georgia in 2020.
Amen.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself. Tell us about you. And just give us your story.
My name is Jamisha George, and I'm a native from Portland, Oregon. I live in Vegas, and I'm a prison wife. I started this journey 4 years ago with my husband. We've been married for 4 years. We grew up together, so we're both from Portland, Oregon. Prior to that, I was single. I already had two children, and then when I got with my husband, he has one child. So together we have three boys.
Okay, three boys. What are their ages?
17, 12, and 5.
Okay, you got we club. Well, I got a 30-year-old. He was 2 when I left the street, 18 when I came out. I conceived one while I was in there, and that child is now 18 years old, on his way to the University of Chicago.
Amen.
Yeah, we was up there in the Shy last week, so that was great. I met with the coaches, and everything is good. So that one is on his way to a very, very good school. And I got 11-year-old daughter. She was the one. So I had one before, one during, and one
And
after.
one after. Okay.
Yeah, so she came on out and still not done.
Right. That's all a
Right,
blessing.
right. So So okay, tell us a little bit about how did your without going into specifics, if you don't want to, what your husband is locked up for. Um if that's not a court, don't worry about that. How did y'all
He's locked up for he got charged with murder. He committed
Mm,
murder and he went on the run for a year. He got caught here in Vegas. And what was crazy was like a week before he committed his crime, I literally just seen him. So once that happened, he ended up getting caught a year later. He fought it a little bit. He didn't take it to trial, but they reduced it to manslaughter and felony possession of a firearm because he was already a felon. He was not supposed to have any type of gun or be around one. So the plea that he took was 18 years, day for day, with no good time, in order for him not to go to trial or get life or 25 years or 25 to life. So he took it. Now he's 12 years into his sentence and he has 6 years left.
So man, that's I mean, when you look at the fact that he got 18 years, I mean, it's compared to what it could have been, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like you kind of almost have to take the plea, especially when um you might have been guilty of what you did. Sometimes it's just best to
And he
go ahead.
was. He
Yeah,
was guilty. There
right,
was witnesses, and the situation took place in broad daylight. There just wasn't cameras at the gas station where it took place at, but there was witnesses and stuff, and he was guilty. So, I mean, if you know you're guilty, I wouldn't
right,
play. I just get what's best, what you feel like is best in that situation.
for sure, for sure. So he got 12 in. That's cool. So that mean he's been in the baby all his life pretty much.
Yes, but he's not the biological father of
Oh, gotcha,
my
gotcha.
neither one of my children, but my youngest, his dad was his biological father was unalived a year before me and my husband got together. And at that time,
Oh,
he was only about 15 months old. So he doesn't even know him, remember
right,
him or nothing, or have any
right,
connection. He doesn't have a connection to that family at
right,
all.
right, right. So I mean,
So this is
your
all he knows is my husband.
current husband, and that's cool. That's I mean, sometimes it work
Right.
out that way. Wow. So has he changed? Is he, what I'm
He's
saying?
changed a lot, and
Yeah.
I've known my husband since we was 13. We went to middle school together. So,
Okay,
and our
okay.
families know each other, all that. So it's like I already knew him, but he's changed a lot. He's grown a lot as a man, as a person. I'm very proud of him. He mentors other
Mhm,
fathers in prison.
mhm.
He's in a program called Dads for Life.
Okay.
And what it is if you're in this program and you got clean conduct, your children can come to the kids camp every summer. So like
Okay.
throughout the year, they do like meetings maybe once or twice a month to prepare for this camp, and they do like activities with other fathers to stay connected to your child while you're incarcerated. So every summer, all three of our children, our boys, they go there and they only get to spend 2 days, but not overnight. So from 8 in the morning to 5 p.m. And I can't go. It's only for the children to go. So they get dropped off there
Mhm,
by a church. A church facilitates this too. And they do all
mhm.
type of fundraisers and stuff to get the food and all the activities for the parents and for the children. So when the children are there, they're just there with their fathers at the prison. And then us, the women, grandparents, or whoever the guardian is of the child, we're at the church doing activities, whether it's painting, having like open discussions together, or they'll give us movie tickets. We can go to the movie theaters and just like take a break, relax.
Okay, wow. That listen, and I'm telling you, all that count, all that little bit
Yes,
count. Whatever moments, minutes, or extra stuff that you can get, what I'm saying, that he can get, it all counts. Like it all counts towards his mental health and everything. Because I know it's pretty hard. It's rough doing that.
and it's hard on the
So
children too. It's just
yeah,
as
for
hard on the
sure.
on the children. My
For
our middle child, our 12-year-old, he's not, I'm not his biological mother, but that's still
Okay,
my son.
right.
Um, he was born while my husband was on the run. So he
Hmm.
was literally like 3 months when my husband was caught. So
Wow.
he ain't
Yeah.
never experienced like living with him or seeing him out.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah,
Listen, that's all that really matters is the fact that he's still here because it could have been worse. You know
it
what I'm
could have
saying?
been
Like
worse.
I've seen a whole bunch of I've been in with the worst of the worst. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And these situations could be way worse, but some of us get a chance to get a second chance. Like stand up, do your 18 like a G, get on
Right.
out and
And change your life.
change,
Yeah,
change your life. And the change starts now. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like when I was in there, I took every class. Like that was the thing
Hmm.
that made me because I went in fighting. Like I'm telling you, I was man, listen, I was terrible going
Yeah.
in. You know what I'm saying? Love to fight, love to fight. And once I got a hold of them classes, like anger management classes and family violence classes, and then the little vocational classes that they had, and I took everything. So
Right.
rather than mess that up by um fighting, like if the class is 10 weeks and I'm 3 weeks in, I get into a fight, guess what? I lose all my momentum.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's motivation to kind of like work on my anger issues, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like you know, shout out to him, man. Shout out to you for holding the fort down, you know what I'm saying?
Thank
So
you.
yeah, so tell us about what you got going on, like as far as like books, websites. Plug in all your information so people can know where to reach you at, know how to help you, know how to support you, you know, things of that nature.
So right now I have Instagram and TikTok. TikTok I'm a
Hmm.
regular on every day. So my name on
Hmm.
TikTok is prison.wifey WWP, which stands for Prison Wifey Waiting with Purpose. And
Hmm.
that's all my socials, even my Facebook, everything. It's all going to be in that name. YouTube, my channel, we're going to be starting that too, probably with the next few days, and it'll still be under the same name.
Okay. That YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Listen, that YouTube, it take a little bit of consistency, but as long as you consistent, if you consistent like
Mm-hmm.
you are on TikTok,
Yeah, I was
you
gonna say
gonna
I'm
blow
really
up on
consistent. I'm on TikTok every single night.
every
So
day. Yeah, yeah, every
yes,
day since I've been knowing you. So as long as you that consistent, you gonna grow pretty fast. You know, like you got to stick with it though, because it took a long time to get my channel right. You know what I'm saying? I sat it
right,
down for like 5 or 6 years when I wasn't seeing no growth, but you got to come back to it. You know what I'm saying? And just
absolutely.
keep going. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what I got. I got some questions for you. Let's see. What is the hardest emotional moment you faced in the early days of his incarceration?
So for the early days, I wasn't there. I hadn't talked to my husband in 8 years when we reconnected. So
Okay.
when he went to prison, I just was hoping and praying when he went on the run that like he was gonna be okay and like nothing happened to him. Like I didn't want, the police to kill him or nothing like that. They put out there that you armed and you dangerous and stuff. So I just would always see it on the news and just like, I hope nothing happens to him. And so once we reconnected, he was already in prison. He had 10 years left of his sentence. He had only did 8 at the time. So,
Okay.
and we got married. He had 10 years.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm divorced from that wife now. But we got married while I was in prison. I actually met her in prison. She was
Hmm.
a clerk at the Supreme Court of
Okay.
Georgia, and case was on appeal,
Right.
whatever. Got married 2 years later, had my son, you know what I'm saying? Had a child when I got out. But it didn't work out. And
Right.
we move on, you know what I'm saying? Got a divorce, remarried. Um, and life is good now, you know what I'm saying? So
Amen.
shout out to you. Let's see what we got. What other questions we got? Family wise, like who is like really supporting you and holding you down, as far as everybody knows your situation in the family, mom,
I
sisters.
feel like my mom, my dad, not my father, but my dad, and
Mhm.
my mom is also incarcerated. But we got
Mhm.
married before she went in. But my mom is in the feds. She's doing an 80-month sentence right now. So and she's been in there 4 years already. So she'll be
Mhm.
coming home within the next year or two.
That's
She in
good.
there programming and one of my younger brothers. So and he's never been in trouble before. So I have a few family members, immediate family members
Mhm.
that's also incarcerated. But my mother and my dad are like my biggest supporters and like my best friend. They're my biggest supporters.
That's good.
And of
Support is
course
always.
my mother-in-law is amazing. My
Mhm.
sister-in-laws, they're amazing. Like they totally support it.
Mhm. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I mean, support system is key. You know, I don't know what I would have did, had I had, not had the support system, so and it's hard to do. It's hard
Yeah,
on y'all women.
it
Like
is.
it's so easy to just like check out and move on. The first relationship I went in, she got tired. 7, 8 years in, like she knew my 16 years was mandatory, but 6 years
Right.
in, she got tired. But guess what? When one door closed, another one open. You know,
Another one opens.
I wouldn't have my kids if it wouldn't
Right.
have been, leaving. So wow. So I know it's hard. So sometimes it's like, I for the most part, when I see you live, you pretty upbeat. So, but
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure you have your moments. Do you like are you, a praying woman, or
I'm definitely a praying woman. So
sure.
look,
Yeah.
I got two Bibles right here. I have a Everyday Life Bible by Joyce Myers. So this
Okay.
is something like you read a scripture every day and it'll tell you how the Bible resonates with you, like on your
Mhm.
everyday life. And then I have my study Bible. And that was actually the first book that me and my husband read together was the Bible.
Mm. Okay.
Because
Okay.
I felt like that was the only way we was gonna be able to get through it. I never done time with anyone outside of my mom
Mm. Okay.
and my dad, not my father, but my dad. So I never did time with like a man. Like there was no man on earth that I felt was worth me doing time for or doing
Right.
time with. So
For
when
sure.
me and my husband reconnected, that's just who I wanted to be with. And I felt like, okay, we got 10 years, we got 10 years.
Yep. Yep.
It is what it
I
is.
love it's six left, you
That's
know.
it. We 4 years
Yeah,
in.
yeah, for sure. Let's
And we was
see.
married we got engaged 2 months after we started dating. And then we were married, um, 3 months? 3 months after we was engaged.
Mm.
And it
Okay.
wasn't even our marriage wasn't planned for the year of 20, what was it, 22. It was
Hmm.
actually planned for year 23 because they only marry in April and October. So once we put the paperwork in, maybe like a month or two later, they came to my husband and they said, well, we hadn't married anybody in 2 years due to COVID. So we're gonna do some weddings this summer in July. So would you guys
Hmm.
like to come in July or would you like to wait till next year? And he asked me, and I was like, it's not a big deal. Let's just, do it in July. It's only a date. So, and I got proposed to on my birthday of that year. So
Okay. And July what?
July of 22.
Okay. Not like the date.
Oh, July 18th.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Funny story offline about that. Okay. Wow. Let's see what other kind of questions I got. So what is your like audience over on TikTok? Like, do you catch a lot of women that are in the same situation as you, or a lot of male, because obviously guys locked up are on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Like, what you know what kind of advice do you give for people that's either in the same situation, or somebody like your husband that is behind bars and they might see you on TikTok as well?
A lot of the women that are on my lives, they are women that are in the situation, or the mothers that, their sons or their daughter is locked up. So,
Mhm.
I give advice all the time. If you ask me, I let them send a request and either come up or ask in the comments. It just depends on, what they're
Mhm.
asking. But the men on there that's locked up, they're actually really good supporters too. And I just keep telling them to, keep your head up. If you fighting your case, just keep your head, keep it up and stay in the law library. Don't take no for an answer. These laws is changing every day. So even if you got life today, tomorrow something could be different. So you could never lose hope. You got to keep the faith and stay prayed up.
That's a fact. Look, listen. I was so bad when I went in. That's a lot of times when I was in the hole. Two things that kept me going is the fact that classes, I was trying to take the classes, and
Hmm.
I prayed. I prayed for change. Like I couldn't hear myself. If I wasn't in the hole, I couldn't, hear God. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of my change came in the beginning. And once I got locked in and like you said, stayed in the law library. I
Hmm.
lived in the law library. I had motion for new trial, court of appeals, um, after that, Supreme Court, habeas corpus,
Hmm.
right back to the Supreme Court. I had all of that. You know what I'm saying? I went through all of that, and I pretty much stayed in the law library. and always took classes, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things, like, even now, I just launched the anger management, online anger management business. And because who better to teach people about anger?
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Gotta
It's
have a lot of
called,
patience as an inmate.
you got to, because you got to have patience, and man, you living around the worst of the worst. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it ain't nothing for you to fight. And now, I don't know about out there, but in Georgia, man, people are losing their life every day. Like, I
Yeah.
feel sorry for people that's going in the prison system now, because it's bad. Like, any given time, you got people in there that is willing to, they ain't got nothing else better to do than to make your life miserable. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
They ain't got nothing to live for.
They ain't
They
got nothing to
they
live for.
they
Yeah,
feel like that. They don't know their purpose in life. So they feel like they
yeah,
ain't got,
yeah, yeah. And
no
they
purpose.
just gave up. You know,
Yeah.
right, man.
And for the women, the advice that I give them is to
Mhm,
obviously stay prayed up, stay in your Bible, stay busy. And that's why I
mhm,
tell them you have to wait with purpose. Like, yeah, you're gonna be down some days you ain't gonna want to get up or do XYZ, but it's not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? Our life can't stop just because our husbands is locked up. So that's what I mean by waiting with purpose. You should still be fulfilling your goals or the things that you want to do, like as a woman. Obviously, I'm
mhm.
not saying go be with another man. No, but your
Right,
life does not have to stop. There's plenty of things that you can do as a married woman to respect yourself and respect your marriage. Start a business, go get your degree, finish school. All the goals that you had, you still have. It doesn't stop just because our husbands is locked up. It
correct,
got to keep going because you want to have something when they come home.
correct.
You
Yeah,
need a
listen.
foundation.
Hey, listen, Gucci. Um, I don't know him, but I know him through a couple of people, and have talked to him a couple of times before he really blew up. Like, he was in and out of prison and everything.
Hmm.
And he left his wife with a little bit of money, and I think she had like 10x by the time he came home, and the rest is
Right.
history. You know what I'm saying? So,
But some
you know,
women don't have that start
right.
with the money. All we got is what we got out here, but that still
Mhm.
doesn't give us an excuse. You can
Mhm.
still try and start something. Social
I
media is
mean, look at
blowing
look
up.
at you. Yeah, look
Right.
at you.
So
You know what I'm saying? You
I'm
started a whole,
programming. I'm programming my husband programming. He's trying to get an
yeah.
electrician program while he's in there.
Mhm.
Then he's doing his, his mentorship with the other fathers in there. So while he's doing that, I'm doing this.
I give everybody this advice, right? I give everybody this advice. The best thing you could do is learn artificial intelligence.
Absolutely.
If you don't listen, that the people, I heard Mark Cuban say this one time, people that ignore, people in his time was ignoring the internet like it was some type of fad, it was gonna
Hmm.
go away. You know what I'm saying? And he was only one of the ones that paid attention to him. And look, he a billionaire.
Look at it now. Yeah.
Look at it now, and that's the
He
same way.
pays attention to everything.
Exactly, and that's how I am. Like, I study artificial intelligence. I got a little advice from a millionaire last Sunday. Her name is Myrtle Potter. She's an alum of University of Chicago, and they had a
Hmm.
little get together. And I asked her about it and asked about artificial intelligence, because she said something during her speech about it, and she said it's a lot of people not paying it attention, and them the ones
I
that's
mean, you
gonna get
have to. You have to go with technology. Whatever is coming, you got to learn and you got to go with it. Or
right,
you'll get left behind.
right. So you
So,
do have a website. You got a website. You want to tell us about that?
let me see what it's on my beacons. So right now it's on beacons and it's uh
Mhm.
beacons.ai/store/home. Let me see. Oh, okay, hold on. I told you the wrong thing. It's prisonwifey.store.
Okay, PrisonWife.store. And if and
Mm-hmm.
if regardless, they can find you on TikTok, and it's in
Yep.
your TikTok bio. So
It's in my
uh
bio.
tell us tell us your TikTok again.
Prison.wifey WWP.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything, like, is there anything that you want to lead the people? Because obviously, hey, when your husband has a chance to get on the show, we can put him on the show. You can come back a little later. Like this don't have to be a one-off. Like we can build
Okay.
something. You need any advice about you know, starting a YouTube channel, if I can point you in the right direction. Um, you know, we would love to hear what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because
And he's excited. He was kind of down that they had a situation. So it was one of his close friends, his woman put she created AI image as if she was in the prison with him. And although it looks like AI, the prison took his phone privileges and his tablet, all his communication for 2 days while they did the investigation, and then they gave it back. So, because of that, they told all the inmates, if you're going to be doing interviews or any type of social media, your wives, whatever, you guys need to get permission. So that's why I had to, halt it, because I don't want him to get in trouble for being on the internet and he has clear conduct and he's trying to get into this electrician program. So,
wow,
soon as we get it approved, he'll be able to come on.
that's cool. They got it good out there. Because I'm telling you, in Georgia, I think when I first went into the prison system, they stripped all of the prisons of any education except for one.
Mhm.
I got lucky enough to come out of diagnosis after I left the county jail, got sent down the road, come out of diagnosis and go to the only prison that had education at the time. You know what I'm saying? So if he can take something like that, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah.
They took the weights out, they took education out, like they just leave you in here to basically rot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And regardless of what the situation is or where you at or what happened, it's always on the individual to say, hey, um, I'm not gonna let this stop me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And you know, in my situation, I was at the halfway house, which is one step before you get out, like you halfway on the
Right.
street, have still locked up. The warden was sending people back to prison left and right because people was coming in, drugs, alcohol, not going to work, not coming back, doing this, doing that, catching all kind of cases in the halfway house.
Oh
And that
wow.
lady said, she said, so she was in a class speaking to everybody, but when I tell you she spoke to my soul when she said, I can't want it for you worse than you want it for yourself. She
Right.
spoke direct. It's 12 plus years, and that still stuck with me.
Absolutely.
And she right. You know what I'm saying? So, your husband and you are welcome on the show at any time. We'll
I
do it
appreciate
again.
it.
Um, and tell him keep his head up and stay
Thank you.
focused and take all the classes and stay out the way. Don't get caught up
Absolutely.
in politics because it can go from 0 to 100 just like that.
Really fast.
It-
Yeah.
yeah, it's so much going on in Georgia. Um, it's one county jail. It went from and I personally know the sheriff before they sent him to prison. And he had everything spick and span. They pulled some corrupt stuff, took him out, sent him to prison. He did a couple years, came out. His name is Victor Hill, and now Clayton County is the worst county jail in the country.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it can go 0 to 100 very, very fast.
Right.
Um, my brother is in California and he got a podcast. He gonna want to talk to you. You can go on
Okay.
his show. So we gonna get you on up through here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I appreciate you.
Shed some light on you. But that's all I got, man. Anything else you want to leave? Last little bit, or did you
Um, I'm still working on other things. Like I'm adding different things to my prison wifey brand. Outside of that, it's pretty much like a mentorship program for women who are dating men that's incarcerated or for the mothers who have a child incarcerated. so that we can all have a safe space to share resources or share our feelings, share our emotions, what we're going through. Some people, it's hard to navigate when you're new to this. So some people have literally nobody, no support, nobody to ask questions with, questions to or whatever. So I get DMs every day as soon as I get off live, or while I'm on live, they DM me and I tell them as soon as I get off, I'll respond. I can't respond while I'm on live, obviously, but I try and get resources for people as much as I can and point them in the right direction. But I don't know everything. Every prison is different. So, and my husband is in Oregon, so I don't even know nobody else on my life whose husband is incarcerated with mine. So I can only navigate so much. But we got a lot of things coming for the brand, and I do have my CDL. I'm certified in dispatching, so we're trying to start a trucking company from the ground up.
Okay.
And we will probably be opening up some transitional homes within the next year in our hometown in Portland, Oregon, for people that are coming out of incarceration that need a place to stay, so that, having an address won't be the reason why you still got to sit in prison. And we're going to try and get them jobs and stuff like that. So we're working on that right now. So we got a few things.
Awesome. Woo, I like it. Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining the show, man. All
Thank
her
you.
contact information will be in the bio. Reach
Thank
out
you. I
to her
appreciate you.
and help her out and support her.
Thank you.
Because this ain't easy.
No, it ain't, but it's worth it. If that's the person you love, they deserve to have that support. So God gave them a
Absolutely.
second chance. Who are we to judge?
Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning into XCon Media. Go right ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hurry up!